She's at my table. I understand this is Washington, this is not Hollywood, but I want to let you know that that appeal to the White House for a possible position for her is on the table, and as her acting agent at table 3, if you have offers, I will be fielding them. Please do not talk directly to my client. I got you. We're going to handle this. It's been fun being here. I won't be invited back, but I'm having a good time. You are fantastic. Thanks for sharing your story and your poise and your strength, and I look forward to voting you into office soon. Our next presenter is known in the child welfare community as an esteemed force for children in foster care. As president and CEO of the Dave Thomas for Adoption, Rita Soronen. Go ahead, cheer, you can do that. Rita Soronen has led the foundation since 2001. In addition to driving award-winning foster care adoption awareness campaigns and nationally recognized efforts like Adoption Friendly Workplace and National Adoption Day, one of the foundation's signature programs, Wendy's Wonderful Kids, works with and provides grants to public and private adoption agencies to hire adoption professionals who implement a proactive, evidence-based, child-focused recruitment strategy targeted exclusively on moving America's longest-waiting children into adoptive families. How's that for a mission? When served by this program, older youth and those with emotional challenges are up to 3 times more likely to be adopted. I think that's worth something. The foundation has been a steadfast supporter of CCAI's work. After completing 10 years as a member of the board of directors, Rita transitioned to CCAI's advisory board in 2012. Dave Thomas's vision was a world in which every child has a permanent and loving family. Rita works tirelessly to make that a reality. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rita Soronen.
Well, thank you, Mark. You've actually fulfilled one of my dreams. I'm an Antiques Roadshow fanatic, so yeah. Thank you for being here and all that you're doing. And congratulations to all of the angels in the room. You know that you are our heroes, and this is what it's all about. So congratulations to all that you do and all that you mean to CCAI and all of us in the room. But I'm honored to be here tonight to talk about another of my heroes, Kathleen Strottman, one of my personal heroes. Yeah. Now it's going to be difficult for me to state a script, but I promised I would state a script, because how do you summarize the activity of someone like Kathleen after 6 years at the Congressional Coalition on Adoption Institute? But I'm going to try. So in my role as a former member of the board of directors of the Congressional Coalition, as well as my current role as a member of the advisory board, I've had the opportunity, obviously, to work closely with Kathleen and the incredible staff there. But first, in her capacity as a U.S. Senate staffer, and then later as the executive director of the Congressional Coalition. And the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption has been a long and proud sponsor of the Angels in Adoption program, of the Foster Youth Intern program, and other leadership activities. And through these extraordinary programs, I've seen firsthand the heroic efforts that these young people and advocates across the nation, as they inspire Kathleen's vision for a world in which every child has a family to call his or her own. And of course, as many of you know, in October a few years ago, when we released that research that Mark referred to about Wendy's Wonderful Kids that drove children from foster care into adoptive homes and successfully, when those results came out, my first call was to Kathleen to say, all right, how do we get the word out? How do we make change at the federal level, at the state level, at the local level? Wherever we can make change, wherever children are waiting to be adopted, we need to get this model in place, and we need someone who can help us wind through the difficulties of these systems. Kathleen has helped the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption and countless other individuals and organizations navigate congressional committees, the legislative process, and all because of her dedication to bringing best practice to the attention of lawmakers in order to best serve our children. She was unconditional and amazing in her help with us and continues to do so. But clearly, the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is not the only beneficiary of Kathleen's talent and intelligence and skill and passion. I brought with me a letter from the co-chairs of the Congressional Coalition on Adoption Institute, Senator James Inhofe, Senator Mary Landrieu, Representative Michelle Bachmann, Representative Karen Bass. And we don't have the time to read because this is deep with detail of all of the accomplishments of Kathleen. I do want to highlight some of the items in the letter. In addition to recognizing Kathleen on her years of service, the letter talks about enriching the educational activities surrounding the Angels in Adoption program and Gala, and by adding an advocacy fair, a legislative seminar, and afternoon meetings, those critical meetings with members of Congress, because when the voices of those directly impacted by this cause are in front of our policymakers, change happens, I guarantee it. Leading CCAI on 6 2020 Vision congressional delegations to California, Guatemala, Ethiopia, Ohio, California, Vietnam, and South Korea. Developing that report to Congress for the Foster Youth Internship Program to include federal policies researched and compiled by the very interns who were doing the work and made into recommendations to help improve foster care across the nation. Engaging the National Football League in the celebration of National Adoption Day to raise awareness of children in foster care waiting for permanent families. Serving as the architect of the Way Forward project, simulating dialogue among 45 experts on how policies might be developed to support family-based care for children in 6 African countries. The project's definition of permanent family care was cited by the U.S. government in its first ever action plan on children in adversity. Hosting a delegation of Guatemalan child welfare leaders on a U.S. training tour in the Pathways to Permanence project. This inaugural program provided delegates with training to greatly enhance their work on behalf of Guatemalan children. In tribute to Kathleen's desire to live in a world where every child knows the love of family, the following organizations and individuals have already made a generous contribution to the Congressional Coalition on Adoption Institute's general fund, and I know more of you are going to join on, and I'd like to name those who have already submitted generous donations. The American Bar Association Center on Children in the Law, Kevin Avery, Bryony Byers and Jay Hudson Avery, Christine Calpin, Casey Family Programs, the Equality for Adopted Children, David Farber, Debra Lee Furness, Chip Gardner, Generations of Hope, Sarah Gazarek, Scott and Carrie Hasenbog, Mark Mintz, David and Holly Mooch, the National Council for Adoption, Jennifer Perry, Nancy Rain, Ann Reese, Resolve, Debbie Riley and the Center for Adoption Support and Education, Norma Jean Sebastian, Jason Schnedel and Tabitha Edgins, Ruth Sheehan and Lewis, Randy Thompson and Terry Baugh, and David Treadwell. I'm certain others have contributed as well, and I am certain you will want to honor Kathleen in this way by making a generous contribution to the Congressional Coalition. Yes. Kathleen, it is truly my honor and my privilege and my great joy to express the desire of the Congressional Coalition on Adoption Institute's Board of Directors, Advisory Board, and the Congressional Coalition on Adoption to honor your dedication to the core values that children belong in families. We know that CCAI continues to build on your unique and passionate contributions, strengthening families and strengthening the systems that surround our children to live safely and to thrive in families. Ladies and gentlemen, my time to get off the stage and for you to honor Kathleen Strottman.
Thank you. Well, congratulations, Becky. I think you've achieved the minor miracle of rendering me speechless. Thank you. It might only be outdone by the other minor miracle that happened on our way here, which is that my son Noah is wearing a full suit to tonight's event. And the child never wore anything but Crocs and polos before now, so it's a big miracle day in the Strottman home. Because I'm speechless and I didn't know how to speak, I'm going to speak really quickly, which is very much my New York background. So forgive me for rifling through just a few thank yous. And since I'm also not very good at speaking about myself, I will quickly turn to talk about what I care about most, which is the mission and the purpose of CCAI. So first and foremost, I want to thank Senator Landrieu. I wouldn't be on this stage. I was a young 25-year-old attorney, and you said you'd give me a chance, and I've never regretted that lunch that we've had 15 years ago. Everything I've done since then has been a tribute to you and the incredible mentor that you've been to me. So thank you very, very much. I also want to say thank you very much to my husband and to my children, because when you mistake your career as a passion, often there is no such thing as office hours or any kind of personal boundaries. So to my husband, who has never asked why half of the checks that are written out of our checkbook actually are to people he has no idea or has never met, why he has never questioned whether I make a salary and haven't given half of it back to CCAI at some point, to my kids who have never questioned the many trips, how many Easters and Christmases and other things that I've missed with them because, you know, damn Putin had to shut Russia down in the middle of Christmas. So, but thank you to them, because I know that that was a big sacrifice. I wanted to especially say thank you to Carrie Hasenbach, because if it wasn't for your vision, if it wasn't for your idea to have this organization, I wouldn't have had a place to retire to after being in Senator Landrieu's office and to see what it felt like to really put your whole heart and passion into a cause that we both care so much. So thank you very much. And then I'm going to do what I hopefully do best, which is stop talking about myself and just say this. I'm 42 years old. I have 4 kids. I started this whole idea that every child deserves a family that loves them and tells them what it's to be cherished when I was a 25-year-old childless attorney. And the only thing that's changed is I'm more committed to that than ever before. And I'm committed because I know what a difference it made in my life. My mother used to say to me, "To that much is given, much is required." And that's been the very essence of why I care about this. I had an amazing set of parents who every day got up and told me, "You matter in this world, you will make a difference, and we love you even when you fall." And so when I learned there were kids in the world that didn't have that, it was just mind-blowing to me. And so every day that I work on this issue, it's because I know what it feels to be cherished, and I believe in my inner soul that every child needs and wants to know what that feels like. And so I guess I will just end with saying this. There are untold numbers of millions of children living in the world, and I say untold because what we haven't yet achieved is we don't even yet count these kids. We don't even know where they are. And we have to start finding where they are, and we have to ensure that they have what almost everybody in this room had, which is that person who got up every day and made sure that they got on their way to school, and made sure when they had a bad day that there was somebody to kiss them and put them on their knee and say, "It's going to be okay, tomorrow is going to be a better day." And so we've got to do better. So in the past, I've always quoted Mother Teresa, who's one of my personal heroes, and so I'm going to end with Nelson Mandela, who is, again, another person that I really seek inspiration. And he always said, the impossible always seems impossible until it's done. And so I stand here and I say that it is absolutely 100% possible for every single child in this world to have a family, to have a person in this world that loves them the way that my parents loved me. And the reason I know this is just pure math. Bear with me, Matt, because I do know math, okay? They start out with 2 parents. We're already a statistical advantage, right? We start out with 2. So we're going down with 1 child for every 2 parents. And then if you think about every church, every person in the world who's out there that we could connect these children to, that they could have be their forever person, the numbers just get infinitely larger from there. So the only thing that's missing is our desire to do so. So I say, let's get about the impossible.
So well said. Thank you so much, and congratulations. I want to make sure I'm in the right place here, you guys, because I promised I would keep us on time, and I'm almost there. All right, here we go. By the way, I just want to let you know that this night is such a celebration. I've met so many great people, so many powerful people, like you've just heard, and so much reason for hope. As I mentioned earlier, we have Republicans and Democrats here celebrating for one great cause, and even greater than that, even a bigger chasm to cross. At my own table, I'm sitting with someone, and I feel like we have a friendship now, even though my family roots from Alabama and you're from Auburn. So I just want to let you know that this gives our nation hope, you and I, okay? And I love you. Except for about 12 weeks during the year. Actually, just 1 week. Okay. Our next presenter has been the U.S. representative for Kansas's 1st congressional district since 2011. Prior to entering Congress, Congressman Tim Huelskamp represented the 38th district in the Kansas Senate from 1997 until 2011. CCAI's Angels and Adoption Programs is personal for Congressman Huelskamp. He and his wife, Angela, are the proud parents of 4 adopted children: Natasha, Rebecca, Ethan, and Alexander. Both girls are from Haiti, while the 2 boys were born in America. And here's a fun fact I've been told for you guys. On the 2nd day in the job, Congressman Huelskamp showed up to his office carrying a yellow dump truck and a suitcase. His son Ethan trailed behind dragging another suitcase. It was on hand to help his dad move into his D.C. office. And that's the power of family right there. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Congressman Tim Huelskamp.
As Mark noted in my introduction, as the parents of 4 adopted children, the Angels and Adoption Program is very personal for my wife Angela and me. This is my 3rd year participating, and I always enjoy learning more about constituents who have made such incredible contributions on behalf of children in need of families. I am incredibly honored to be here with you tonight and to present the Paul Singer Award. CCAI strives to inspire the world's most powerful voices to speak for all children who do not have a family to call their own. Perhaps no one had a clearer vision of this effort than Paul Singer. Paul was known by many for his work as the Chief Information Officer at Target, but we knew him for his commitment to helping others. He was a founding CCAI board member and devoted much of his life to helping vulnerable children. After Paul's untimely passing in 2010, the Congressional Coalition on Adoption Institute announced the creation of the Paul Singer Award to be given to a business or a governmental leader who has gone above and beyond their defined corporate or agency roles to advocate for better adoption and foster care policies. Award honorees are selected from individuals whom the Singer Foundation and CCAI feel best exemplify Paul's passion and skill as an advocate for children in the need of adoption, particularly his unyielding faith, personal integrity, compassion, and perseverance. It's my sincere pleasure tonight to present the Paul Singer Award to Debra Steigerwaldt Waller. Adopted as an infant, into the family that owned Jockey International, Debra began working at the company in 1982. A dedicated member of the team for more than 30 years, Debra has worked on nearly every aspect of the business and has held numerous merchandising and management positions. In January 2001, Debra was named chairman of the board and chief executive officers, following in the steps of her mother, Donna Wolf Steigerwaldt. After months of research and careful consideration of issues where Jockey could make a significant impact on families, the company learned that post-adoptive services, support, and resources for parent and children after adoption are legally finalized or scarce. Debra made it a company goal to support and promote the work of adoptive families. In 2005, she founded the Jockey Being Family Foundation, a private charity that believes every child deserves to grow up knowing he or she will spend a lifetime as part of a loving family. The foundation was created to strengthen adoptive families through post-adoptive services by funding national and local adoption-related nonprofit organizations. Jockey has also put their money where their mouth is for their own employees. According to the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption's Adoption-Friendly Workplace program, the company offers top employee adoption benefits through financial reimbursement for each newly adopted child. Since 2005, Jockey Being Family has donated more than $4 million to adoption organizations. More than 75% of Jockey employees have participated in the Foundation's activities and have logged more than 6,000 employee volunteer hours. Please direct your attention to the screen behind me to learn more about the Jockey Being Family initiative.
I think for Jockey and Jockey Being Family to go as far as they have, it really shows that they're committed.
It's just great to be able to work for a company that really thinks of how they can impact children.
The stresses of having a large family and a large family with special needs is it takes a lot of time and emotional and physical strain on us.
And we need that help. We need support. And it's not just money. We need people support.
But Jockey Being Family is about everyday life and what your goals are, your dreams are. And our children are going to live long into the future and create careers and families for themselves. And they're going to reflect back on what Jockey Being Family has done for our family and brought us together, brought us closer, and made us who we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Debra Steigerwaldt to the stage.
Oh, well, thank you. And thank you, Representative Huelskamp. That was a lovely introduction. I am so honored to be here with all of you, and I am deeply humbled and honored to receive the Paul Singer Award. And while I did not know Paul Singer, I think he's with us here tonight. Wouldn't you agree? And thank you to CCAI and the Angels in Adoption for this honor. And thank you, Debbie Riley, wherever you are in the audience, for your nomination. It goes beyond words. I don't have words to thank you enough. And I am exceedingly grateful for this opportunity tonight to share my perspectives about an important reality affecting the very fabric of our society through the lives of hundreds of thousands of children in the foster care system and adoptive families. There is significant public awareness supporting and promoting adoption. and rightfully so. It is a critical first step in finding the permanent, loving home for a child. I salute the countless heroes who created the adoption-friendly society that we have today. While I cannot recognize all of them, I am so grateful because our world is richer for their courageous efforts. And personally, I'm richer because I'm adopted myself. Adopted as an infant, I was blessed with a family who gave me everything a child needs: security, confidence, encouragement, and the unconditional love that always assured me that I was with a family. No matter what I did, and believe me, I was not an angel like I am today, I never felt that my actions were threatened or jeopardized by my family bond. I was blessed beyond compare. And I'm unbelievably passionate that every child should have the right to feel the same way. Many adoptive parents believe a loving home equates to a successful adoption, but adoptive parents can quickly become overwhelmed by complex challenges, like the Molderhauer family expressed in the video you just saw. As they said, one day everything seems fine, and the next day everything is different. The sad reality is that loving a child is simply not enough. Despite the best intentions of adopted families, it takes more than love to make adoptions successful. Last year, 55,000 children were adopted out of the foster care system. The adoption failure rate is 10 to 15%. So last year alone, potentially as 8,200 children could have been returned into the foster care system. Think about that. Imagine that. Kids who thought they found their forever family, who were in the foster care system about an average of 3 years, were sent back into the foster care system. Can you even imagine how those children felt? It is my belief that one failed adoption is one too many. I am confident that everyone in this room has the compassion to comprehend the magnitude of what a failed adoption means to a child, and to the family who thought or hoped that love was just enough. To complete the elimination of failed adoptions by providing quality, accessible post-adoption services lies at the core of Jockey being family. When I took the helm of our family-owned company, Jockey International, and looked at the landscape of philanthropic needs, what surfaced was the glaring gap in post-adoption services. So we created Jockey Being Family to begin to fill that gap. Parenting is hard enough. I know, I have 3 children of my own. But adopted families confront huge challenges in creating a successful new family dynamic, and we don't want them to give up. Adoption is not a singular event, but rather a lifelong journey requiring guidance and support along the way. Helping families to adjust at this crucial time is what post-adoption service support is all about. Vital services such as counseling, therapy for children and families, parent support groups, respite care, educational workshops, financial resources, and healthcare services are what many families need in order to manage their challenges. Over the years, Jockey Being Family has had the honor to work with amazing partners in providing these post-adoption services. In support of these organizations, Jockey Being Family has donated more than $4 million towards their programs, activities, and services. In addition, Jockey Being Family sells teddy bears. I think you saw the bear up in the video, with significant portion of the proceeds going back to our partners. I invite you to visit our Jockey Being Family website, jockeybeingfamily.com, to learn more about what we and our partners are doing and to purchase a bear in support of our foundation. They're real cuddly and they're soft. Over the past decade, since Jockey Being Family began, we created the Home to Stay backpack program. Rather than having a child arrive at their new home with only clothes on their back and a few possessions, Jockey provides a personalized backpack filled with age-appropriate items. The backpack is also embroidered with the child's initials, which is often the first time both the child and the parents see what the symbol of their forever relationship. It's really quite powerful. The backpack program also offers adoption agencies and our partners the individual opportunity to talk to families and identify issues early so they don't reach the breaking point where the adoption fails. If you remember only one thing I say tonight, I urge you to remember that the story doesn't start or stop with the adoption itself. As a people, as a society, we need to recognize that our challenge in the realm of adoption is the need for a full-scale expansion of post-adoption services. Think of it this way. If adoption plants the seed, it is the post-adoption services that provide the water, the sun, and the air for a child to truly flourish. Dave Thomas once said, "These children are our responsibility." Indeed, they are, and I wholeheartedly agree. So let's assume that responsibility and go the next step by providing the children and families of adoption with the water, the sun, and the air they need and allow the seed of adoption to grow and flourish. I thank you for this honor and for letting me share my passion with you. Thank you.